Before we get into this video, there's something I actually want to tell you guys, which is a little bit unique for this channel, which is that this video is actually sponsored. Now, I'm the type that I always found it really cheesy whenever there's a sponsorship for a video that had nothing to do with the subject of the video. And I don't intend on becoming a regularly sponsored YouTube channel, but this one's a little bit different. This one's unique. A friend of mine, his name's Stephen Hackett. He works with Biblical Mastery Academy. He has his own channel. It's a fantastic channel. I'll link it below. A lot of Bible-related content and New Testament Greek. But he reached out to me because he works with Biblical Mastery Academy, which, if you don't know, is a program that helps teach Koine Greek as well as Biblical Hebrew. And he started a program that starts in September where he'll actually be teaching kids. It's designed towards kids, teaching them New Testament Greek. And I thought that was really, really cool. And so he reached out to me and wondered if I'd be willing to talk about it. And I know, again, I don't normally do sponsorships, and not that I don't intend on doing them in the future, but they have to be the right kind of content and the right kind of programs and things like that. I don't like to do stuff willy-nilly. And in this case, I looked at it and I looked at his program, and they do great stuff. And so what a cool thing to do, to have a program that teaches kids New Testament Greek. How cool is that? I mean, if I could go back, I would absolutely have wished if my parents had started me learning Greek when I was little, because it would be so much easier than learning it now. I mean, you pick up languages so fast as a kid. And again, they do great stuff at BMA, and Stephen Hackett's a great guy. So they're online classes. They start in September. There's a link below, but definitely check it out, you guys. And again, hats off to Stephen Hackett and BMA, and I really like their stuff. So definitely check them out, and onto the video.
You know, when I first started my channel, originally it was doing reviews of Greek books, you know, whether that's grammars or, you know, Greek New Testaments, things like that. And not that I've moved away from that, but I've kind of stopped doing it lately. You know, I still do them from time to time, but this really is a callback to how my channel started, and I still want to keep doing these. I have a bunch of little books, but you know, my audience has grown since then. But initially, I started out doing Greek grammar and Greek book reviews. But I've been wanting to do a video about this for a while, but I really wanted to play with it and get familiar with it. But this is actually something that's really cool. In many ways, this is completely obsolete. But I think that there's still a valuable role for books like these, right? And this really is the Analytical Greek New Testament put out by Baker. What it is, it's nothing crazy. It's just a Greek New Testament that has parsing information underneath each word. So I'm just going to zoom in here, right? And can you see underneath each of these words, right, in Greek, we have these little bunch of letters, right? A bunch of letters and random sequence, and they might not mean anything to you, right? But if you know Greek, what this does, and you'll learn this if you ever study Greek, the hardest part about Greek isn't the vocabulary, right? It's the grammar, because Greek is what's known as an inflected language. It doesn't mean that the pitch of when I say inflection, we think in our vocals, right? Pitch going up and down, like, that, right? That's not what we mean when we're talking about inflection. When you talk about an inflected language, it means that the word changes form depending on what role it plays grammatically in the sentence. And so Greek, what makes it so tricky is the fact that you could have one word, right? But it could be the same word, but depending on what form it takes, tells us what role it plays in the sentence. So because of this, Greek, word order is pretty loose in Greek. It doesn't mean, in English we have it's called a SVO language. Subject means subject comes first, then the verb, then the object, typically, right? Well, Greek doesn't have to play by those rules. Greek can switch up the order in a lot of different ways, and it's a lot more free because, again, the meaning of the grammatical meaning of a sentence doesn't necessarily come from word order so much as it comes from individual word formation. Now, I know that was a big mouthful of nerdiness, but again, what makes this really cool is the fact that it gives the grammatical information underneath each word. So we come down here and let's just play this out, right? So we have this word here, anthropoi, okay? Anthropoi, which is the word for mankind, right? Or men, you say man. And what this tells me is it is a noun, it is nominative, masculine, and plural. So anthropoi would be men, right? Now, if you memorize all the endings, you know that oi, right, is the nominative, masculine, plural, okay? But let's say you forgot it, okay? Let's say you forgot what the parsing is. That's what it's called, parsing, right? The grammatical information. Let's say you forgot that. Well, this will help you remember it. And this is really, really cool, especially for verbs, okay? So like this verb here, okay? What this tells me here is that this is a verb. That's what the V stands for. It's indicative, future passive. And then see this, the ZP. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, in this particular context, what it's telling me is that this is a third person plural. So they do X, Y, Z. So instead of you could put a number, sometimes they do numbers in a lot of different numbering systems. And this one's a little unique. But if you come to the front here, I actually bookmarked it so you could see. They've got a graph chart which shows you what the codes mean. So the first code, first letter you see in the list, this tells you what it's going to be. Is it a preposition, right? Is it an adjective? Is it a noun, verb? Next tells you what's going on here. If it says it's a noun, right, it's a pronoun. Over here, is it nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, or vocative? Is it masculine, feminine, feminine, neuter? See what I was saying there? The X, Y, Z, first, second, or third person. And is it singular or plural? And actually, after using this for a fair amount, you get pretty good at it. You figure out what the codes mean. And I know if you're not familiar with Greek, this isn't really going to mean a whole lot to you because, again, this doesn't give any vocabulary. What you can do is you can actually write the vocabulary in, if that's something you wanted to do, like here. So in 2 Timothy here, up here I put vocabulary words for stuff that I wasn't that familiar with. But then here, I also put a little number here. So right here we see poiason, okay, number 1. We come up here and it means perform or do, okay? This tells me it's a verb, it's middle, aorist active, okay? There you go. So this is really cool. Again, in a lot of ways, this is obsolete because there are so many study helps nowadays, like free Bible parsing tools like Blue Letter Bible, or my favorite, if you want to know my personal favorite, it's called Scripture Direct, the Scripture Direct app. And I have I'll put a link for that below. But again, like I said, in many ways, something like this is obsolete. But I'm really analog, and I like holding physical books in my hands. That's just something that I like to do, and it's something that I'm all about, and I prefer physical because, to be honest, the more digital things that we have, yes, they're more useful, but it's kind of like Pandora's box. It's just another excuse to get distracted and things like that. But again, if you're looking for something like this, these are out of print, but you can find them pretty cheap. I mean, I got this thing for $6, and I really, really like it, okay? If you're interested, definitely go check it out. I can't put a link for it because they're out of print, but I'm sure you could look around and find it. But again, it's the Analytical Greek New Testament, and I would encourage each and every one of you to get into Greek. I think it's a very valuable thing to do. And, I have a website where I've got a lot of free Greek helps. It's just kitchentablegreek.com. That's the website, www.kitchentablegreek.com. And I got a lot of free helps on there if you're ever interested. So anyway, I hope this helped you guys out. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.